A Video Game Story by Dan Ashcraft. Narrated by Jeremiah Johnson. Copyright 2020. Chapter 1. 12-year-old Jason Ash was getting ready for school. He woke up from his bed with a groan. He had spent a lot of his time staying up playing his favorite video game, Powerwolf Heroes, and did not want to leave the house. He wished he did not ever have to go to school. What was the point of going to school when you always end up as a victim of a bully? There were 3 students at Jason's school who were always fond of chasing him and giving him a hard time whenever the day was over. It had happened last week, and it had happened the week before. Now today was the beginning of another school week, and he was not eager to go, but his mother would not hear of his decision to not attend his classes. "School has made us successful," Mrs. Ash would always say, "and you must be successful too." Jason was not really close to his parents. They were always busy traveling on various business trips, and he was usually left by himself. Once, Jason had tried to skip school. He had played his video games all day instead. The school had called his mom, and she had taken the next available flight back to Nebraska. She had chastised Jason and made him promise not to skip school again. The time was 6:15 a.m. He figured he could still play Powerwolf Heroes for 30 minutes before getting ready for school. He switched on the TV and the game console. Then he relaxed back and began to play. Of all the games he had played, Powerwolf Heroes was his all-time favorite. The game came on and he selected his character. There were about 24 characters he could select from, but Jason always picked the one he liked best, Nero. This was one of the most powerful characters in the entire game. Nero had the power of creating fire from any part of his body. He could create the fire on his palm and throw it against the enemy, or he could turn his entire body into a ball of fire and consume his adversary. Whenever Jason picked Nero, he was rarely defeated. It was like there was a kind of chemistry between the two of them. He always wished he had the kind of power Nero possessed. With that kind of power, nobody would ever bully him again. He smiled when he thought about what he would do to Greg, Matt, and Anderson whenever they tried to bully him again. He would set a magic fire on their tails. A little magic on them was what they needed, and they would scurry away like scared kittens. But, like Nero, having the power is not only for fighting direct enemies, too. Nero used his power for justice. Jason would do the same. He would go around the state of Nebraska stopping criminals and handing them over to the police. He would be the hero of Nebraska. People would look up to him for their salvation. There would not be any bully in schools anymore because he would always be there to make them pay. Innocent children who could not defend themselves would be able to go to school without having the fear of being bullied. As he played the game, he was lost in the world of the game. He wished he could disappear from his own world and appear in the hero's world. Life would be a lot simpler if he had his own superpowers.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?